You have to send me videos about that so I can share with people how that goes.
Yo, I want to buy a 360 cam and put it on my bag when I skate so I can record the city life.
Yeah.
Cool.
You have to do it, and you have to buy the cam and do like a pop-up merch store in the move while you skate. Como los Grandes Podcast, episode number 25 with Pailin Mirault.
Yeah.
Okay, from Canada.
Yes.
Thank you for being here, Pailin.
Thank you. I'm excited for my first ever podcast.
It is exciting to know because I remember finding your Instagram account in about 3,000 followers, and then in a matter of a week or so, you are reaching 22K followers. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you. I did not expect like all the attention and support, but I guess it paid off and people are watching and supporting. So that's really cool as an artist.
You have been taking a very great scale with the videos and then following up with your content. One of the things that amazed me from your portfolio was your pop-up store with the stickers and you going out on the streets with your backpack and all your things to be able to build your own. Please tell me more about you going out and trying to sell your merch.
So when I first started doing art, like back in Thailand, I wasn't selling anything and I was just doing exhibitions. So when I came here to Canada, I was like, whoa, like I can't pay for an exhibition because it's so expensive. It's not the same price as back at home. So I was like, okay, I have to find a new way to make money. And so everyone in Canada does like markets and it's cold. So everyone wants to do something when it's cold. And so I just started looking for market vendors, and then basically you pay a table fee and then afterwards you can sell whatever you want. And afterwards, I first started just selling prints, and I just wanted to see how the audience would react to it. And turns out, like, just selling prints alone, I was able to make like more than enough money for a day's worth. So I was like, wow, okay. And then I kept selling just prints for like 6 to 8 months because I was super busy. I just wanted to create new prints, test those out. And after I felt like confident that, just prints on paper are selling, then I can expand my product. And then that's when I started doing stickers. And the stickers, they all have a backstory to them. So the first sticker pack I made was the Rebel sticker pack. And that one is just a tribute to what I love doing and a tribute to my interests. So that's like skating, doing graffiti, just being like rebellious. That was like my personality when I was younger. And so that is a tribute to that. And then the second one is City Monsters. And that one is just based on animals based in Toronto trying to take over the city. And
okay, so the animals like are from Toronto.
Yeah, so the raccoon, rats, cockroach, pigeons. So the pigeons in Toronto are crazy. They're so mean. So yeah, they're just like
why is that? Why they're mean?
One time I was eating a sandwich and I put my sandwich down to like check my phone, and next thing you know, like I'm like, why the fuck is there like 50 pigeons like near me? And then I figure out they stole my food.
Oh, so everything was part of the plan.
Yep. So yeah, I had a lot of fun creating that concept. And then the last sticker pack was the food on wheels. And that one again is Toronto edition. So all the food that is based in Toronto, food trucks. So that'll be like Jamaican beef patties, tacos, burgers, poutine. Yeah. So I'm just trying to create something that's based in Toronto now, but just to see, if how people react to it. And then when I know it's working well, I can keep expanding.
This has a concept that has all the potential for this expansion. And I am enjoying the part that you're using traditional details for the concept art, something that people can find on the streets. So it's very local, and I like that. And for the colors and the vibe of the stickers, it has a lot of personality. I
Yeah.
would say it has your touch. When you see your portfolio, it has a lot of personality. I can say it has a touch, and not every artist achieves that. Having a
Thank
touch,
you.
having a specific style
Yeah.
for the art.
Yeah, I feel like as an artist, like 3 years ago, I also struggled with finding a style or just knowing like who I am as an artist, because as an artist or as a creator, you have to be unique, original, and a lot of times I feel like when you don't know who you are yet, you keep looking for inspiration and also
Yeah.
just like copying different people. But what I realized what I was doing wrong is just like I just need to listen to myself and listen to what I like. And that's gonna be different from other people. Everyone likes different things. So if you just listen to what, your mind tells you what you like, then of course you're gonna be unique. Everyone's unique. So
Of course. Yeah. So you are doing print art, you are doing stickers as well. Sometimes you go out and have a store. Where do you publish or announce that you will be going out on the stores? Instagram.
Oh, I can't really see it.
Oh,
No.
please, you will have to deactivate the blurred background so we can
Yeah,
check
we have
that.
to accept it. But wait, what were you asking?
The question was in what social media platform do you announce that you will be going out to selling merch and in a specific fair or something?
Usually I just post it on Instagram and then I
Okay.
print papers and just stick it on the city and I just hope for the best. Yeah.
Okay. So Instagram is your main
Yeah.
platform.
I feel like my brain cannot do too many things. Like I will actually mess up so many things if my brain is everywhere. So
That totally makes
step
sense.
by step.
Seeing your work, I see that you do a lot of things, different things, and I understand that. How has been the process as an independent artist? Do you work in part-time work or something? This is your current living.
If we go back to, I would say 2021 when COVID happened. Okay, so I was in university and COVID happened, and at the time I was studying in Hong Kong, and so
Okay.
the university shut down and it permanently shut down. So then I had to go back to Thailand, and then I was like, shit, like I don't have anything to do. Let me just try freelancing. And so I tried freelancing, and I would go to a co-working space in Chiang Mai called Yellow, and basically it's a place where a bunch of like entrepreneurs and different people, mainly foreigners, working there. And so there weren't that many creatives, and I was like just beginning at that stage. So yeah, I really didn't have a style or anything, but either way, I integrated myself with these people, and then afterwards they saw my work and they were like, hey, do you want to work with us? So then I ended up working for like a bunch of different people there. Some were like long-term projects and some were short. And during that freelancing time, I got to learn a lot because I was just like 19, but these people were already like in their 30s, 40s. So I had a lot to learn from them, and it just gave me a different perspective than school. So for me, that was like a big growth. And then I did that for 2 years, and I worked 1 year as like a NFT artist illustrator for this company, and also for myself.
Around 2022, you know, the NFT.
And that shit was crazy because like really that's the first time I made like so much money from my art, and it was just so crazy because my parents thought it was a scam, and like
everyone parents thought it was a scam.
Like I think I showed them the money in the bank, and they were just like, dude, that's like fake money, like don't touch it.
Of course, yeah.
They were like, no way, this is so crazy. But then turns out it was real because I was able to buy myself an iPad. And that's when I was like, yo, this is real.
So you bought yourself an iPad with the NFT to think, the crypto thing.
This iPad is NFT money. Proof, living
NFT
proof.
money. Okay.
After I got that iPad, it was just about, you know, building again and reinvesting in my work. So whatever money I made, I just bought things that would make it easier for me to work. And I feel like that's a smart decision at the time. Because,
for sure, yeah.
Like when I first, you know, made money, I was like you want to buy so many things, right? But you just have to be like chill. And just like think.
At least.
Yeah.
At least chill.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my freelancing experience. And then afterwards, after 2 years, my mom, she's Thai. So she was like, okay, it's time to go back to university, get that degree, you know, Asian mom. And so I was like, yep. Okay. And so, the university which I was at previously, they have a campus in the US, and the prices were insane. Like after doing freelancing and just like getting an idea of how life works and what I'm gonna do a bit, and I was like, bro, like how is that university so expensive? Like just for art school, so crazy. So I talked with my parents, and I was like, okay, I think I'm not gonna go to the same university. I'm gonna try to look for something way cheaper and, you know, figure it out there. And so I moved to Canada, which is OCAD, the university. And yeah, it was way cheaper, but also the quality was different. Like it was way more chill, and the work wasn't that challenging. But I feel like for me, I was able to balance the work because I had worked before. So to me, it was like, okay, I just do my assignments, and then I have more time to build whatever I want to make in my free time. But like, like the other university, I did not have time. I just had to like create all the time for university.
If you have stayed on the other university, probably a lot of the things that we can see in your art and your brand,
it would have not existed. Because I would have not had time to like just have space to, you know, think and like, and also it's just like, I don't know, something about the US and the immigration law is a bit crazy.
How much time do you have studying when you get to Canada? How much time you got in Canada so far?
So now it's been like a year and like 7 months since I've been in Canada, and I like it. I think it's a great country, but the cold is so bad. Like it's so damn cold. Because coming from Thailand, it's like the opposite, you know. So
Thailand is more sunny.
Thailand is like Venezuela, bro. It's like the same weather. It's like tropics. So imagine you going to a country where it's like -20.
Okay, so I'm surprised that you know Venezuela, but that often you see that people doesn't know Venezuela exists.
No,
I
no.
know Thailand too,
Yeah, yeah.
but Thailand and Venezuela are very sunny places. For
Yeah.
example, Venezuela is like an eternal summer all
Yeah,
the year.
Thailand as well. Eternal
Yeah.
summer. We get a bit of rain for a couple months, but is there's still
Okay,
sun.
okay, okay,
There's still
okay,
sun.
okay. Venezuela
Yeah.
too, Venezuela too. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I can see in your styles and your outfits that you are a very sunny person, that you enjoy going out and taking sun, and I see that you have your skate and you
Yeah,
like
I
to skate.
skate like every day. This morning I just skated to see my friend and we were going to a coffee shop to do some sketches every Sunday. So when I skated in the snow today, it was a bit crazy, but it was still fun.
You have to send me videos about that so I can share with people how that goes.
Yo, I want to
Yeah.
buy a 360 cam and put it on my bag when I skate so I can record the city life.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
so
yeah.
cool.
You have to do it, and you have to buy the cam and and do like a pop up merch store in the move
Yeah, I have
while you
so
skate.
many ideas. Yeah,
So
I need to
a dude in a skate in a video that he had two boxes, one on the front and one behind him, and while he was skating, he was serving like tisanas, a fruit juice for people to
Damn.
to buy, and all in the move. And I was
Damn.
like, what the fuck? And that was in Brazil. So maybe you can
Crazy.
do something like that, and you
Yeah.
can buy sell stickers in the move.
That would be a great idea.
Oh, so we have here your skateboard. Ah, come on. You always do this to me. I love the thumbnail, and then I click and it's like, hey, look at my art, yeah. And for the events in the city, are there events that you'll be going up as a vendor or as a featuring artist? Are there any?
Yeah, so I will be attending this event called Pancake Art and Booze, and it will be in, I think, March 15. I'm pretty sure it's March 15. If not, just check my posts for updates. But yeah, I'm one of the artists that's gonna be at the event, and I'm gonna be selling stickers, prints, and yeah, you'll get to meet me and talk about art. So what's not cooler than that?
Yeah, for the people that is listening at this episode right now, you can find all the content, all Pailin content on Instagram. Okay, we have been talking about digital art, but I remember seeing in one of your videos that you do traditional art too.
Yeah, yeah. So I started doing art on paper because when I started drawing, the iPad was not out yet. So
Okay.
so it's just normal paper, that's how I started. And so to me, the feeling of paper is like a natural feeling. It took me now like 3 years to learn how to draw digitally, but originally
Okay.
it's paper. And I was in the beginning when I started drawing, I was influenced by tattoo art and graffiti, and a lot of dot work, mandalas, and just like dark art. Because at the time I was a very dark person, and that
Oh yeah.
yeah, that was like my style back then.
And what
And
happened?
I I left
What
it
happened?
behind. I left the
Oh.
past behind.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, like
I had to ask because you told me that, and then I see you right now, and very colorful and sunny.
basically for like the first 3 years of doing art, I never used color, and it was very like always like very dark imagery and like skulls, and I don't know, all
Okay.
those things. And then I kind of got sick of it. I was like, I'm kind of bored. I want to try something new. And also like it was a reflection of my personality back then. So, when I
Okay.
first started doing art, I was also like a very rebellious person, and I also hung out in like different groups of people. And back then, I definitely was not in the right group, and I was a troublemaker.
Mm.
So, sorry, mom and dad, but
Yeah.
forgive me. Yeah.
But who knows that is part of the path that have you here right now.
Yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, after I found out that that really wasn't my personality, and I felt like, okay, like I should try something else, and started experimenting more. And the more you make mistakes, the more you get comfortable with what you're good at. And yeah, I
Yeah, of
actually
course.
really like using charcoal. I think that it's super dynamic, and um, a lot of my pieces that are charcoal are just like freehand style um, drawings. Yeah, yeah, you can see like in those photos, like the art was very dark and
Yeah,
like
yeah. I see
tattoo style.
a change, but I will say I can see your style too,
Yeah,
and a style that you can see at your current type of art. You can find that in your first pieces too. So I will say that is a
nice.
matter of finding your style, but I am enjoying it.
Thank you.
In that time, you did a lot of graffiti too.
Yeah, I was sneaking out the house, and actually that one with the the dragon horse with wings, that one is actually at school, and I got that I got I got permission from the, I think, principal, and he was like,
Okay.
you know what, if you want to do graffiti, just do it. So the school let me do graffiti. And yeah,
Okay,
the Day of the Dead.
and there is a hola
How was my
as well.
Spanish?
Okay, so you like Spanish too. Maybe that's why you know about Venezuela.
Yeah.
Well, someday we can try an episode in Spanish too, when you want.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Yeah, hola, Pailin. So maybe some people on the podcast will say, "Oh yeah, finally, Spanish part."
I know.
This is the second episode in English. I hope that people understand, but who knows. And the people that
Yeah.
don't like the English version of the podcast, they can fuck off easily, because I want to try to know different artists too, and I love the talent in from the Spanish speaking places, but I has been noting that there are very nice artists like you outside. The goal of doing this type of multilingual podcast is to have
Yeah.
conversations with more artists.
Yeah.
This is the second one. This is an experience going back to your first post, and
Yeah, you can really
it's nice
tell
to
like
see.
like just the change, but also, yeah, it's just like, I mean, I feel like people don't just stay the same, And
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like my passion for art really took off when I just like took it seriously. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know,
For
I
sure. For
really
sure.
love art, so I feel like to me it's like it's a no question, like I just do it.
And that is the most important part. I think that loving what you do is like the fuel for everything.
Yeah,
You find your motivation, and then you start producing and producing, and you don't think it too much while you do it, and then you start to realize all the journey you have been doing so far, and hey, I'm here right now.
yeah, that's true.
Okay, so traditional art, digital art, tattoo art, print art. How about handcrafting?
I've done sculpture, like ceramic
Yeah.
and sculptures, but I don't think they're like on my page. But I mean, I did it in like high school. That's
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
But
And
if
did
I
you
had the
enjoy it?
choice, yeah, I enjoyed it. but
Okay.
I think I didn't post it because it was so scary. Like I made a portrait, but she was like a scary ghost person. So
Okay, so you made like yourself back in the
yeah,
day.
basically it was like
Like
my emo personality back then. Yeah.
nice. And if we talk about things that inspires you, what do you like to do when in your free time when you are are trying to relax a bit about making art? What do you like to do?
I like to like go to galleries. I just like smoke a joint and take a day off, just like
Yeah, yeah,
enjoy
for sure.
and just take a break. Yeah, like I just go see friends. I think that's a good, thing to do. And honestly, I've been like doing my art like almost every day, so I haven't really taken a break, but for
Me
me,
too.
I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like it's not a problem for me because I really like art. So
Nice.
yeah,
And
but
so you find in
when
your art this place
yeah,
too.
but when I do get really sick of my art, then I'll just go skating.
Hmm.
Yeah, skating, or I'll just like watch some movies. Yeah. There's not
And which
much to do. Like that's the thing. Like if I was in Thailand, I would like skate, I would drive my motorbike, I'll walk the dogs on my skateboard. There's so many things to do. Like
okay.
because the weather is always nice, but here it's like right now it's snowing. It just started snowing today. I can't do anything. Like I can only stay indoors. And if I go outdoors, I have to wear like 20 layers, so
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
rather be indoors. It's so different. So definitely
um,
like my hobbies here changed a lot. I mainly just skate and go out to museums, somewhere indoor. Yeah.
mm,
Definitely like when I was back in Thailand, I would go cycling with my dad for like 2 hours, every morning.
nice.
It was so nice. We would just go to the rice field, to the mountain, and it's so relaxing. But here, like with the snow, you cannot go anywhere.
Maybe you can
Yo,
go maybe depress
you can.
yourself a little bit.
That's all you can do. Yo,
uh, maybe you can try and creating something with snow someday. Who knows? A snow art,
snowman.
a snowman, and the depressive snowman. And maybe you can go back to your roots. Thank you for your time, Pailin. Thank you for
Yeah,
your
thank
time.
you.
Thank you for being here and
Of course.
for taking the time to have a chat with me about your work. And I'm very excited about the future of your work.
Thank you.
I can see the 22K followers number going up for sure, and
Thanks.
keep what you're doing. The doors are open here on the podcast for you to come back in another episode, and maybe we can talk about something else. I remember for the people listening to the episode that you can find Pailin content on the link on the description too.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, this was a really chill, fun, podcast to be on, and I'm glad that I am here. And yeah, it's good that you're also just inviting people from different places. I think it's great.
Como los
Thank
grandes,
you.
episode number 25.
Peace.